Several weeks ago, we had the Academy Awards, and it was a lovely ceremony. It was a great show. It's been a long time since I thought, oh, that was a good show. In fact, I missed a lot of them. During the red carpet, the one thing that stood out to me is, well, aside from, I don't know who half these people are, is, my God, Nicole Kidman looks great. I've never seen her look like that. And I couldn't put my finger on what it was. Partly it was the hair. So the hair looked quite uncoiffed. It looked like sleep-in hair. I think she was kind of going for a Bardot look. I don't know, she was just going for something I've never seen her do, and I loved it. And one of the things that I noticed was she was wearing a warm lip color. It was like a warm nude and warm blush. And honestly, I think I usually see her in pinks. So I was just impressed. I went on Instagram, I somehow figured out who her makeup artist was, whose name I can't remember, but I'll put it right here. And she listed everything she put on Nicole's face. And I added it up, and it came to about $1,100 worth of product. I wasn't going to buy all of the products, but I thought the color product should probably get me there. So I got 3 eyeshadows, and I got 2 lip products, and I got a blush product. And then I used the rest of the things that I have. And we're going to do it. We're going to try to get that Nicole Kidman smoky eye warm thing, sexy thing. I think sexy is something I can't do. Let's get into how I got there. All right, we're going to start with the base first because that's the way I like to do things. I am wearing my sunscreen already, and I'm using the Dermatology sunscreen, which has a tint to it. I mixed it with a little bit of white because the tint's a little too warm for me. And I'm going to go in with the Surratt number 4. This is the Surreal Skin because she is wearing warmer colors, and I thought this would be better over something that is neutral to cool. I am just going to dot on, and instead of blending in with this brush, I'm going to blend in with my BK Beauty brush, except around the nose. I'm going to do some blending around the nose here and around the eyebrows. So this is the first time I've tried this foundation with the primer. And the primer is really light and lotiony. It kind of feels like a moisturizer, but I don't have the same kind of spread that I usually do. So there's a slight tackiness to it. Looks nice though. I'm going to get some on my eyes. I'm going to pull you in, and we can get an idea of what the skin looks like. I think we're going to start with the eyes. For the eyes, I got 3 eye colors, and I'm going to be doing my own liner and my own mascara, etc. I pulled out my rougher brushes and a couple of other brushes because the brushes I keep out here all the time are Squirrel, and Squirrel are very soft. I have played around because I have had these for a couple of weeks while I'm waiting for other things to come in, and I feel that you need something a little bit more might, like a goat. So here are the colors. This is Matte Taupe, Silky Rose, and Matte Cocoa. And her eyes look super, super dark. I think what I'm going to do is start with the Silky Rose all over the lid. And I'm taking the rougher 01 brush. And the only thing I have in my lids is the foundation that I just put on. I suspect that this shade was really on the brow bone and used to blend out the other 2 colors. But we're just going to go ahead and put it all over the lid. Now I'm going to go on with the taupe, and I'm going to do that almost all over the lid. I noticed that the darkness went quite high up on her. It seemed to go all the way to the eyebrows. And this is a fantastic shade. I've worn this in a couple of videos since I bought it. I don't think they were videos where I talked about it or even put it in what I'm wearing, but you may recognize it if you watch all of my videos. I'll tell you one thing. It's the first time I've tried it with a goat. That's where you get your payoff. You won't get any fallout with these shadows. I find that they're really sophisticated. So if you want a punchy look, you're going to have to build them. It's not like working with a Denona or a Pat McGrath or a Huda even, where there's a lot of payoff. If you need that payoff, you might not like these. But if you want something easy that's kind of mistake-proof, and you would rather build than have too much on, I mean, it's still time. If you put too much on, you have to blend and blend and blend and blend, or you get something like this where you're just building. Now this is a Sonia G soft shader. It is also Goat, and I'm going in with the darkest color here, and we're just going to see. I like the shape. So it's almost like a flat brush because it's pinched, but it's quite wide, so it's in between a blending brush and a flat brush. And the transfer is really nice. I'm using the lightest hand because it's paying off for me. And one thing I also really enjoy about Nicole Kidman is she is hooded, you know? So she has the same issues as many of us. Now I have some wrinkles over here, so I have to be super careful with this. I think it would be better if I got this mirror and just kind of pulled that skin a little bit because of my ever so delightful wrinkles. This has a bit of a point to it, and it's perfect for using that point to go into your crease and to also use that point for a very precise blend. Going in with this Cerate Smoky Baton because she definitely had some liner going on. If you don't want to touch your skin, you could use a beauty blender to pull taut, and makeup artists oftentimes use puffs to do that. Going close to the eyelashes. I'm not going to pull down all the way to the end of my lash line because that will close up the eyes a little bit, and I do have small eyes. So that's a trick. And now I'm going to go in with a brush to smooth that out. When I did my Cerate video, I used my fingers, but you just don't have the same kind of control with fingers, so I'm going in with this rougher 26. Just back and forth motions. I also thought her eye look was a slightly messy. I thought the whole thing was really a bedroom Bordeaux-ish kind of feeling. So you don't have to be too precious. And now I'm going with the center, and this is where there's powder that will help set that so it doesn't transfer. Which again, if it does transfer, I'm not sure it would be the end of the world. And watch out for little chunks coming off with this baton. You don't want that on your face. We're getting closer. I'm just going to brush my brows to get out any foundation, sunscreen, whatnot. And then I'm going to brush them down and work on that. And I'm going to go in with the Cerate for that. Her brows are nice and thick. One way to make your brows look a little thicker is to go above instead of below. I mean, do both, but if you can go above a little bit, where I have very light hairs that are not seen, and this is a great thing to do with a gel product too, if you have the right tool. So have a very thin, delicate wand to grab onto these, otherwise you're going to end up with it on your forehead. So there's my shape. Now I'm going to go on with this, the Legendary Brow And that will help cover up any grays or blondes. And if I had this mirror out, I could really capture some of my teeny weeny hairs that are growing in. But instead I'm just going to go like this. I go against the hair to see if it'll catch on anything. And then go in with the pencil again. And you don't have to do this raw pencil. I really like this a lot. And while I managed to grab some of these baby hairs, it's not really enough. Alright, so that's a lot for the brows. I usually don't put on 3 products and it feels like a lot, but actually it doesn't look like a lot. If you're being photographed, you know, if it's the Academy Awards, you're probably going to be doing that. I'm doing my concealer. This is the Sisley concealer, and you know, everything here is Sisley, and I have the color 2. So you put this on with a brush, but you're not really blending it with the brush. But the brush gives you a really nice application. I'm going to go a little bit right here. And then take your clean finger, if you're not sure, wipe it down and pat. And that just helps it to settle into the skin. I like to pat up and down as opposed to out. Otherwise you're moving your product away. There. So let's go on with blush. This is Golden Rose, and you can see it's quite golden. I don't really see the rose, but I've worn this a couple of times, and I have to say, it's very pretty. Online, when I saw the swatch, let me swatch this for you. It kind of looked like it would be like the NARS Orgasm, like a pink with a golden reflex. But that's not really what I'm getting here. And there looked like there was a lot of color on her cheeks. So this is stunning. I hope you agree. It has a shimmer in it, but it's not too shimmery, or it has reflective quality, but not too much. That is stunning. And really kind of negates the need for a highlighter, for a more fresh and yet reflective look. Unless, you know, you like that highlighter look, then go for it. And this is my Hakuhodo brush. And we may come back and do a little bit more, but I just kind of want to get a feeling for what we're doing here. Just for kicks. I'm going to go in with this one, and this is the peach color. And now we have a little bit more. And I'm just going to take a beauty blender, make sure there's no starting point here. I'm taking the Sunny G Classic Crease, it is Goat, and I just want to blend. So the Cernes liner, I didn't put enough powder on it, did transfer up here, but that's fine, because it's exactly where, you know, my crease would be if I had one. But I really wanted to do a little blending on this taupe color, make it very, very, very soft. And going to take that same brush and go in with Silky Rose again. So this color, and I'm not doing this too much because again, her eye look looked like that gray color, that taupey, went quite high up. But it's a beautiful way to blend things out. And take your time when you blend, you know, let the brush do the work. All you have to do is put it in the right place and pay attention. So instead of just absent-mindedly going back and forth, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? And put your brush there, like right here. Now I'm going to go back into the taupe color. So this is the matte taupe, same brush. And I'm going to go where my so-called socket is and a little bit higher. I think that's a bit more dramatic. I'm really happy with this look, you guys. It's 3 shadows. It's kind of simple, but I think I'm talking too loud because Princess just left her crate. But it really doesn't matter if it's only 3 shadows. It could be 1 shadow. I did a look for holiday that was 1 shadow, and it was just about blending it out to perfection that gave it dimension. And yeah, 3 shadows. I really like this. I really, really like this. Now, it looked to me like they did do a little bit of lightening under the eye, and unfortunately, they did some powder under the eye too, so I'm going to have to do that, but I don't want to, because I think it makes my eyes look smaller. So first I'm just going to do a little powder, and I haven't powdered my under eyes or anything. And if I get any drop down, that powder will kind of help with that. I don't really need much powder on my face because I really like this finish. This is something that I really like about this Sisley concealer, is it looks so real on the skin, especially on this eye. It just doesn't look like anything. I'm going in with the Cernes Light Baton. And then, same thing that I did the other day, I'm going to blend this out. I think I used a different brush though. This is a squirrel, so it's super soft. I like it when it's blended out like that. It's not so obvious that you're doing something. You can't really see it. Alright, so I have the brightener under the eye, and I just want to take a moment and smile for the camera because we're going to do some shadow under the eye, which I don't think works very well on me. I like this look, so I just wiped this clean. This is the brush that I used for the baton, just kind of smudging that out before I went in with the powder. And I'm going to go in with a taupey color, obviously. I'm not going in with that brown. And let's see what happens. I'm barely touching because I am afraid. You could go in with something smaller. It will look more like liner that way as opposed to a smoky eye. And if you go in with something smaller, you're probably going to be blending for a long time to get that soft look. So I don't know, why not just go in with something a little bit bigger like this? This is something that I can live with. It is not what her look looked like to me. I'm not going to do any more. I'm not going to go in all the way. This will help elongate my eye, make it look a little longer and therefore a little bigger. And now mascara. Now, she might have been wearing false eyelashes. I saw one look with her eyes closed, and either she has a ton of lashes, or there were some false eyelashes, and they could have been singles, and I don't do that. I don't do that. I have 2 mascaras that really give a full look. One of them is from Ilia, this one, and the other one is from Westman Atelier. Now, both these brands are clean. I'm going to try it, but this is on its way out. And I really put my head back so I don't get this on my eye, hopefully. That's the plan. Look at that. Boom. Kind of looks like falsies, right? And I like to take a moment to concentrate on these lashes and pull out. Again, helps to elongate my eye. And I am going to go in with the Cernes mascara to do my lower lashes. So this spoolie is small and appropriate, and she definitely had mascara lower lash. And I'm going to do a little more subtle than her look. So there's a haze of lashes rather than you can see individual lashes. I have one more thing to do. I have to do my waterline or tight line or whatever this line is. And this is a gray color. And I don't want to take this any further than where my eyelashes end. Not for this look anyway. That's more of a fox eye kind of a thing. All right, you guys. I'm really liking the eyes. I don't look like her, but I'm really liking the eyes. So we are going to move on to the lips. And the lips are a little bit confusing because they said they use this and this, but I don't know what order they use them in. And interestingly enough, the effect is different depending on which one goes on first. So we're going to do both ways and try to figure it out. And then I'll put my hair down and I'll change and we'll see what we get. This is in Nude. It's number 1. I'm not sure if it's called Nude, but I do know that it's number 1. This is a color that is right here and can be very deadening on some people, especially me. When I say and some people, I mean me. But I feel like this could be something you have in your arsenal, in your kit, as it were, to tone down something else. It's just a little bit too much. These are super comfortable. So that, and then this, which is the Phyto Rouge Shine in Blossom, which is right here. And I know that I saw warmth on her lips. There was no question to me. I'm not going to line, because I feel like these kind of products don't lend themselves to lining, but I may change my mind. That could be the combo. But I don't think so. I'm going to take that off and we'll try the opposite way. So first this one. So we're going to put this over. I think this might be the combo. So first Blossom and then number 1. And this is the look. These are the things that I bought anyway. And yeah, I would say 1, I do not look like Nicole Kidman. I'm shocked. But 2, I'm totally digging these eyes. Are you kidding? I think this is the prettiest smoky eye I've ever done, because it has a softness to it, which again, these eyeshadows lend themselves to that kind of softness. I'm just going to go back in with a goat to work on buffing. Just looking at shape right now. But my eyes are uneven, so kind of hard to get the same shape. My skin tone is different. My hair is different. I'm going to bring my hair down. I'm going to change into something black, and we'll take a look at the final look. And with the hair. So my hair, when I put it up in a bun like that, especially if I do it after I dry it, you'll get a real nice little, bend. But obviously, I'm not going to get her style, because her style was like a bedroom look. It looked uncoiffed, but I'm sure it took a long time to get it. I'm just going to kind of mess it up a little bit. And of course, she wore her hair like this, so much of her face wasn't showing, which I thought was an odd choice. Now when I do that, I feel that it makes my face look wider. I feel that I look better when my hair is pulled back. And her hair, she wore much more straightish kind of a look. And I put on some fun jewelry for her, which she didn't wear, but she had a big flower right here and another one at her waist. I put some of the green corrector on my chest, which really does a great job, but I feel like I need a little bit of foundation as well, because that green is very lightening. And it's not, it's not erasing the redness, but you're not staring at that redness, I think. There you go, you guys. What do you think? I tell you what, I don't think I got the same look. I think her look was actually more intense, but I feel that I'm totally in love with these eyeshadows. And keeping these. I love the look that I got, and I wore this taupe one several times, as I already told you. The silky rose color is beautiful, and the cocoa color is not as scary. I mean, it looks very, very dark, but when it's applied, not. So these I really love. I think these formulas are incredibly sophisticated, and you really don't have to work too hard with those. You don't have to blend for an eon. You don't have to worry about having too much on. But if you are somebody who wants that, pow, there's some pigment, you're not going to like these at all. But I like the change, actually. The blush, I think, is super, super pretty. I just don't know if this is a color, this is not a color I would normally buy for myself, because it's quite warm. I'll do warm once in a while, but not very often. I prefer this by itself. Let me see if I can swatch these. Isn't that interesting? So this is this one, which I'm saying it's so dark, and this is the one that I thought was lighter. They really complement each other nicely, but when I use this one, I use a very, very light hand. When I say this one, I mean the Orchidee in Coral. And I actually love this lip color all by itself. I don't think I got the exact look. I tried. You saw me. I really tried, but I think the lip color is somehow a little bit off. The foundation, you know, I didn't buy any of that, but this is, and my skin tone is different. But tell me what you think. I'm loving the eyes. That's my big takeaway, is I think this is the most ungaudy looking smoky eye that I've done. I've done some tough rock and roll kind of smoky eyes, but as you get older, it doesn't look so good. And I think this is really, really acceptable for a smoky eye. I mean, someone needs to invite me to dinner so I can wear it. Or a nice little club, like a dinner supper club. We used to have one in LA where they have jazz and you'd sit on these tables that were faced at the stage and have a nice dinner. It was on Vine. I don't remember what it was called. But you guys, that's it. Thank you for spending some time with me. Let me know what your thoughts are. I am dying to hear. And until we meet again, be smart and safe, and I'm wishing you good health.